Hi people, it's me, Anja, my pronouns all she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. As I am filming this September 1st, I can honestly tell you that these are some of the last books that I ended August with. August ended up being a pretty good reading month in the sense that I did find 2 5-star books, but the quantity of the books that I read in August was lower than I was expecting, but it was better than July, although that is a pretty low bar. But anyway, with that said, here's to hoping that September will be better in both quality and quantity. But anyway, the first book on this list is called Ale. This story is a middle-grade contemporary following a young wheelchair user who's trying to get her dreams off of the ground. And I think this book is really good, not just in terms of the disability representation, which by the way was so amazing and so well done, but also the conversations surrounding like accessibility and like helping disabled people and just being a great disability ally and allyship and all that kind of stuff. This book is absolutely so good and it's so iconic. So anyway, first of all, the plot is so intriguing and so engaging. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. Like I mentioned, the disability representation is so good and it's so well done. I just really enjoyed it. The family dynamics and the friendships were so well done and so good. This book is absolutely so good and I really enjoyed it. So with all that said, I rated this story 4 out of 5 stars and I would highly recommend it. Also, as I continue to film videos inside, please let me know if the noise and the audio is better when I film inside versus outside. But anyway, the second book on this list is called Saving Chupie. This story is a middle-grade graphic novel contemporary following a young Puerto Rican main character who's trying to save a chupacabra from local smugglers. This story is absolutely so iconic and it's so good. First of all, the illustrations were so pretty and so well done and absolutely so stunning, and they made the story so much more immersive than it already was. The plot is so intriguing and so engaging. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. The friendships were lovely. The family dynamics made so much sense. Everything about the story was absolutely so well done and just so good. This book deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so underrated. And with that said, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. And with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Story That Cannot Be Told. This story is a middle-grade historical fiction set in Romania in 1989, and it follows a young main character who's trying to find her voice in a society that continues to silence it. This story is absolutely so important because, first of all, the setting was so well researched and it felt so vivid, and this book is a great example of why I love historical fiction, because I love historical fiction that parallels with modern day, because history always tends to repeat itself. And even though like I live in 2023 modern day America and I'm not Romanian in any sense, at least to my knowledge, and I didn't exist during 1989 at all, like that is still relevant to me in modern day America, even if it is on a smaller scale. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but basically, I digress. This book is absolutely so important and it's so necessary. The plot is so intriguing and so engaging. Like, the mystery was captivating, the characters are well developed and distinct. This book is absolutely so good and it's so underrated. And with that said, I really enjoyed it. So I rated it 4 out of 5 stars and I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Infinity Particle. This story is a YA science fiction graphic novel that follows a young inventor who falls for an AI. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so good. First of all, I loved the conversations surrounding what makes somebody human, especially in an era of like ChatGPT and AI art. It felt very relevant and very necessary, so those sci-fi elements was so well done and so well researched. Second of all, the plot is so engaging and so intriguing. The world building was done so well and the illustrations again were so pretty and absolutely so stunning. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The romance made so much sense and it was so well done. I was a little hesitant about this book because of that element, but I think that they were so like well paced and just so good. This book is absolutely so good and it's so underrated. I'm so glad that it lived up to my high expectations because if you didn't know, this book was on my August TBR. So anyway, with all that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars and I would highly, highly recommend it. The last book on this list is called Pride and Prejudice in Pittsburgh. This story is a YA contemporary historical fiction as it follows 2 main characters. One of them is a bisexual main character from modern day, and she discovers that her bisexual awakening is a lesbian from 1812 when she time travels there. And this book has 2 perspectives, although for me personally, the character from modern day felt way more developed than the character from 1812, and also the second half of this book felt more rushed and like coincidental than anything else, instead of this book feeling like a riveting, cute, romantic Bridgerton meets What If It's Us type of romance. If that makes any sense, I don't know if it does. I wasn't really that interested in the romance itself, which is completely, like, this story is a romance-driven story, so I wish that I was more interested, but I think it's because since it felt so rushed, I didn't really buy their chemistry that much. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense at all. The plot was definitely engaging, but towards the latter half, I found myself not really as interested as I used to be. So like overall, I would say that this book was disappointing, but I didn't really have high expectations to begin with. I just don't think this book is as good as the hype surrounding it, if that makes any sense. So basically, overall, I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars, so take that as you will. So in conclusion, those are some of the best books and some of the worst books that I ended August with. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the moon emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!